for Jackson Hospital. We have Nursing Administrator for Patient Care Services, Joie Linn Nelson, and Director of Patient Care Services, Jennifer Morse. Good morning.
Good morning.
And happy National Nurses Day.
Thank you.
They're both nurses.
Both nurses.
Yeah,
both nurses. Well, thank you for all you do. Let me ask you, how did you first get into nursing? What was your path?
Nursing found me in a very unique way. I always say it found me. I remember being probably junior high school. My mother was in a car accident, and I, at a very young age, had a desire to care for people and serve. However, when my mother was in this car accident, she came home needing care, and I remember being terrified and not knowing how to care for her. And so that really drove my passion for nursing. I think originally my plan was law school. So I said, I really found it in a unique way, and I have never looked back. Never looked back, and I'm so proud to be a nurse today.
That's great. How about you, Jennifer?
I, from a young age, have always wanted to take care of people. I took care of my dolls when I was little, and when I got older, it was people. Making a difference in people's lives has always been really important to me, and the best way to do that was to be a nurse, to step in on people's darkest days when they're sick and not feeling well, and being that person to help them either discharge or whatever the next step is. So from a young age, I've wanted to take care of people and make a difference.
It's got to be a rewarding profession.
Absolutely.
What's most rewarding to you about being a nurse?
I think Jen hit it on the head. I think for me it is really that it's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege to care for people when they're at their most vulnerable time. And my background is emergency nursing, and I would train nurses and say, you have to remember, you might be the only smiling face this person sees in a day. Right. You might be the only person that gives them a sandwich or something to drink. And we have to really take that to heart, because it's such a privilege to be a part of that. It's challenging when the outcome isn't maybe what you anticipated for those patients. But again, it's really an honor and a privilege to serve, and really to serve this community. It's my community, and I receive care here, my family receives care here, and that's what drives my passion every day.
What are some of the challenges?
Sure. Nursing is a hard job. We have a lot of factors that play into the care that we give. Social determinants of health, getting rides back and forth from doctor's appointments. And, we as nurses take those challenges head on. How can we make that better? How can we impact? How can we help? So really, we as nurses are very innovative, and we can, figure those things out along the way. And we like challenges.
Your hospital recently was informed that you've been redesignated as a magnet hospital. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was on a little panel where they interviewed millions of people in the community as they did the investigation as to whether the hospital qualifies. And I think there's only like 10% of hospitals that get that.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Magnet is a very rigorous process. It is really the gold standard in nursing care. So really it focuses on nursing excellence, patient outcomes, and then innovation, and really deploying evidence-based practice to the bedside.
How many hospitals in the U.S. receive this designation?
9.8%.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a very prestigious designation.
Wow, that's amazing. And a rigorous process, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the questions asked me a lot of questions.
I'm surprised that they did ask you those questions.
Well, what impressed me was I was with a bunch of other people that were talking about their experiences as patients, as parents or family members of patients, as employees, as contractors, as partners, and it's unbelievable the passion that people have for the care that the hospital provides. And really that's, I think, the care, that's really the end result. That's all that matters. The outcome is the care, and you guys do it. Home run. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What does this mean for patients specifically?
For patients specifically, it's that gold standard service that we're going to provide. Patient safety, good patient outcomes. They know they'll come in with nurses that have the opportunity for professional growth in their nursing. They know that they are going to get that gold stamp of approval and gold stamp care.
The nurses run the hospital.
I'm aware. I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there. You go more frequently than I do.
I do. Well, you go a lot.
I do.
But the first person you want to see is a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bring me a nurse.
Bring me a nurse. Fix me. Help me. But I think one of the points is if you're in the hospital or ER, you didn't pick to go there. So it is a tough day. It is a stressful day, and it is important. How rewarding is it though to be able to be maybe that one smile in someone's day?
It's extremely rewarding. I think really for our nurses, they take such pride. We have a lot of awards that come for nursing. Last night we celebrated the Clara Ford Nursing Awards for the Henry Ford Health System, and we had 2 amazing nurses from Jackson that received 1 or 2 of the 7 awards that were awarded. So we have 18,000 nurses in our health system now with our affiliation with Ascension, and 150 were nominated and 7 were selected, and 2 of those came from our Jackson Hospital.
You guys both grew up in the area and decided that you wanted to be nurses, but also decided that you wanted to stay here. What was it about Henry Ford that kept you here?
For me, I am so proud to work for an organization that doesn't accept the status quo, and while that also provides challenges, many times we will never stop until we reach target 0. So meaning 0 pain or 0 harm to our patients, and we want our staff to be engaged. And so that really helps to keep me here, but I think that's why the majority of our nurses stay as well.
And you're a local girl too?
Yeah, I've been with the organization for 18 years.
Wow.
So I've grown up with Henry Ford. I, really think it's about all of the opportunities in the system of growth and opportunity, but that culture of nurturing each other through, if it's school, as a nurse extern, as a resident nurse, as a nurse on the unit, we all, are hand in hand together, and we make it through together. And I think that's, the main reason I stay are the people, the people that we work with.
What would you say to young people to encourage them to get to pursue a job in healthcare?
I think they will never find a more rewarding career. I think there are many industries and they have many choices. But if you truly have a desire to care for people and you really have a desire to give back to something, healthcare in general, but nursing in particular is the career for you.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that you could tell somebody that might not understand what you do and what your job is like, what would that be?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question. I think really, again, it is driving that care and compassion and really focusing on what those patient outcomes are because again, our community deserves that.
Oh, great. Well, happy Nurses Day.
Thank
We
you
have
so
a gift
much.
for you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joie, Linn Nelson, and Jennifer Morse, nurses from Henry Ford Jackson Hospital. More of the morning show after this.